going on, Raider Nation? I'm exhausted, just exhausted. My heart rate went up. I don't know what the heart rate was, but God, it went up right near the end. Don't scare me like that, Raiders. Goodness. What a game. What a game, and they were playing for Al Davis hard, for sure. Game ball goes to everyone for just playing hard, and I know it's an emotional weekend for Raider Nation and for the rest of the league. But what a game against the Houston Texans, a team that's owned us for the most part. At the end, they looked like they were going to beat us, and Michael Huff with the huge interception. I couldn't be more proud of this team for fighting, overcoming the adversity they had. I mean, early on, it was looking ugly. Started with the opening touchdown, and then suddenly Lamar Houston gets an interception and sets us up with, after no offense in the first quarter, the Janikowski was our only offense with a long field goal. And then once again, he kicked another one for us later, I think 55-yarder or something. That the offense for this team was a joke to start the game. I mean, there's no denying it. We were very, very, very fortunate. Just Campbell threw another pick. It was one of those long prayer throws, I think. So, but Houston looked like they were going to go up on us. It's like 14-6. You think they're going to jump out to another early lead, but the defense held its ground. I got to give my props to the defense for hanging in there. They were bending but not breaking once again. The offense was very stalled on both ways. It was ugly, just ugly. I can't picture that. But the Raiders come up with a 2-minute drill late, and maybe you could say Houston's defense was soft. But heck, it worked. Heyward-Bey. This is the Heyward-Bey that we paid for, that Al Davis. A guy that Al Davis invested was Heyward-Bey, a guy who's been criticized. This game, you cannot criticize him at all. He did his job. He came up with a big touchdown in a 2-minute drill for us, and I couldn't be more proud of that, the way the end of the second half was, or end of the first half was, end of the second quarter. I wouldn't have gone for two there personally. I mean, I get the point. You want to tie the game, but it's too early to think about that stuff. Usually you do that stuff late in the game. I wouldn't have done it. We were also very fortunate. Neil Rackers missed a field goal in the third quarter. That defense allowed that huge play to Arian Foster, and it was another panic mode. But the Raiders, after the missed field goal, they drove down the field. After another those of you who had Janikowski in fantasy, you got major points because Janikowski got 50-yard field goals. Those of you fantasy owners. Raiders drove down the field, though. The offense came alive in the second half. It was 15-14. Later, Rackers makes another field goal. It's long. And then the Raiders drove down the field. Another big, big play. I think it was McFadden made some big plays for us down the road with the run game, and I'm happy to see that McFadden came alive this game, unlike the Patriots one. And a good touchdown after the drive, 3rd and 9, throw to Chad Shillings, clutch throw. And the Raiders forced a 3-and-out right afterward. I was worried we were just going to be another offensive shootout like Buffalo, big shootout game, and they stopped them, which is huge. Of course, the ensuing drive, the Raiders go for the fake punt, and Rock Cartwright gets a huge gain. It was one of those all-or-nothing plays, and it worked. Field goal goes to Janikowski again after getting that play to set it up. The Raiders force another 3-and-out, which, once again, is amazing. The defense, I got to give major props to the defense and some reverse crow, if you want to call it. I was worried about our defense, and they got a lot better. I wouldn't say a million times better like my video, but they got better. And Houston drove down the field again. You'd think they were going to score. We were thankful for that dropped pass by, I think, Jones. He was caught looking down the field, and there was a huge pass rush. Great pass rush by the Raiders. The blitz there. Bresnahan actually blitzed. And Houston was forced to kick a field goal. Huge. The thing that annoyed me was, of course, the Denarius Moore pass. They tried to go for the home run bomb and dagger, and of course it was incomplete. Gave Houston more time on the clock, which was even more scary as hell. Tommy Kelly was a beast on that one play. That the sack that didn't count. Quentin Groves, you got to hustle off the field once they got the ball back. Nervous. My heart rate got up once they got to like the 20-something yard line after that big pass or the rough in the passer. The penalties were still a problem. I got to kill the penalties once again being a big issue. And then we got soft right at the 5-yard line. There's time, 7 seconds left. You think this is the Buffalo game all over again? Which, ironically, it was like a Buffalo game, similar. Back in 2000 or 1999, a guy named Eric Turner came up with a big interception. May he rest in peace. I know he's been about dead for about 10 years now. Eric Turner came up with a pick against Buffalo back in the day, and this case it's Michael Huff. No one was open. The defense stood firm with good coverage. Schaub looked like he was going to run in, but Tyvon Branch had him covered. He had to throw it, and boom. Michael Huff had him covered. Ball game, interception, anticlimactic ending. And the Raiders they hold on. And I couldn't be more proud. Thank you, Raiders, for showing up and playing hard for Al Davis. A lot of adversity they overcame, and it really just... I couldn't be more proud of this team. I really couldn't. And the best thing is the schedule is getting easier down the stretch. I'm liking the way our schedule is set up later down the road. It's going to be a little bit easier. We've overachieved this first half. We're 3-2, which not many had us. Even I didn't have us 3-2. I had us losing. I think I had us going 2-3 to start, winning the first two, losing the next three. But we overcame a Houston team. You could say Houston was missing Andre Johnson. Maybe shoulda, coulda, woulda. But y'all owned us last year, and we stopped. For the most part, Foster didn't do too much on us. I was worried that Foster was going to run all over us. He was being more of the receiver in this case. So, yeah, it was nerve-wracking, scary. Heart rate attack went up, but we won. And thank you, Raiders, for playing a hell of a game. Hell of a game, and rest in peace against Al Davis. Just dedicated this game for him. We'll see y'all later, and go Raiders. Just win, baby.